There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us care and the parents of them. So welcome my life without care.
I lyrical
Master.
Clear police who make you again Sktv venue. Say my journey, Tina get as say my yamu. And yes, I know money, and more I know. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget it now ya to money. That's the baby, and I forget it now. Cause you walk on my ya to money.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grand bazaar.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We talk it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to sell. The blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandfather Nima to Lufa, from River Sass, River G to Chide, from Grand Crew, Bombay, Cape Mount, Monserrat, Sano to Backbaloo, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Indeed, Sktv, we are the best in Liberia. Sktv, we are the best in Africa. Sktv, we are the best around the world. Yes, indeed, because we report all of the happening. We give you all of the information that you need to know. Some of the happenings, some of the secrets that sometimes people keep right beneath or say they keep some of the secret onto themselves. But at the end of the day, guess what? We bring out some of the secrets and tell you exactly what's going on, what's happening, some of the things that they are doing, our government, especially our leadership. So, folks, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. It's 3 minutes past 6. That's the time check. Help us share the show. Those of you who are watching, those of you who are joining us, those of you who are following us, is the best way to go. Robert Fasulu, Jacqueline, my good friend and brother, good evening, Emmanuel, bro, also watching us live from the US. All of you there, let me say good evening to all of you. Yes, indeed, we love Liberia. I don't know what you people are the one I'm thinking. Because this slogan, think Liberia, love Liberia, and build Liberia, it's like it's not on us now. Ooh. It's like we are the one that thinking Liberia, do love Liberia, build Liberia, and what? Think Liberia. So Melbourne and the Sktv family now, we are the one thinking Liberia. And we are the one now loving Liberia, and we are the one now going to build Liberia, because from everything that we are doing here today is just about the reality, the truth. You know, and at the end of the day, if not, let me be frank, and let me tell those of you today who follow most of the politicians that almost 95 or 98% of our politicians, they are fake. Let me say it, though, you can want to say. You can say your own you want to say, but not my own. Mayborn, let me say this one. The pre-birthday, man, my birthday will be next Friday, the 1st of May. But let me tell you, most of our politicians, they are all fake. They just want to get rich, get cars, enjoy the better lives. Just imagine. Mayborn now who getting old and we get car. But at 14 years old, 15 years old, or 16 years old child of a politician already finish running car, maybe get 2 or 3 cars parking. All the thing you get vexed. Maybe you just hit the economy. Maybe you just hit the country. Maybe you get problem. You live in poverty. And you are defending politicians. I don't know some of you whether you get mental problem. But anyway, ever share the show, man. The show will be interesting. Today is Friday. Indeed, for those of you who are joining, it's Friday. There are a lot of people here in this country that get mental problem. Sorry though, but that's just a fact. Because why? May even want to back politicians. So all of the day that, for example, in fact, our great-grandfathers, our mothers, our fathers who reserved a Putu mountain, then for example, they reserved the mountain and said, no, let our children come and, and tell us the best way, for the mountain so that they can benefit, go to school, hospital will be built and everything. Then Mabel come and say, no, the mountain, the way I want to do it, I run with. You are useless, the mountain. After our people finish sacrificing their life, remain in poverty, die in heat. Some of our people don't even know what they call light. They die from heat. You want me to come here and pray some of you. Anyway, something wrong with some of you. Now maybe from mental health is the problem. You can say what you want to say. You can describe me. You curse me. I don't even know. I don't even have time for most of it because at the end of the day, people who make it 125, 150. Oh God. Somebody making 125, 150. You want to come tell me what? I will not even listen to you. And I'm not listening to people who making 500 above. Because that's the kind of money we'll be making. But you have foreign people now who are car washers. They're washing cars. They are security. Chinese people now, they all tell me security people. You want me to believe you to do what? Cost me. That's your right. That freedom of speech. And I get issue. At the end of the day, we all will move. But again, people, good evening, good afternoon. Help us share the show. The show will be interesting. Mr. Dishi will join us very soon. I think he's setting up being the same. Mark will be here with us, but it's interesting. It's shameful. It's disgraceful. And we are old. We're too old for everything we're doing. Let me be frank. Yeah, I was watching some video coming from South Africa. I was sharing tears at God. Yeah. It made me think about what Mr. Dishu, I'm seeing you. I don't know how can you keep, moving back to back with other accounts. I don't know what's going on, but I think we've got to remove one of your accounts, Mr. Dishu, or you have to get it maybe off the network. Yes. So your help us share the show is interesting though. Don't mind these people who are supporting the government or the governance system of our land. Let me just make it very easy. Maybe, for example, live in Europe. I live in Europe. Maybe I live in France. I live in UK, where Chelsea is. Maybe I have 24-hour, maybe electricity or power or current. Let me get simple. I have current. I don't even know whether current can go or not. Then maybe I stay in Europe or I stay in UK. Then I sit down here and say, yeah, the government is trying. Something may be wrong with me. That means I got mental problem. Yeah, that's what we'll be doing now. And I don't want what we're doing. James David, good evening, Amanda, good friend and brother. Yumuchu Asadu Mesa. My sister Yvonne, good evening. Robert, all of you there, good evening to all of you. Indeed, the birthday will be on next Friday. By the grace of God. Any Friday from now on will be our birthday. And we will be grateful to the Almighty. Can you imagine, though, football players and us? Football players are millionaires now, but we never even get further now. Further we never even Carter we never even get before I even talk about. Oh God, there. Let me bring Mr. Dishu on. Let me see quickly. Yeah, Mr. Dishu, good evening and welcome. Everything.
Yeah, good evening, Melbourne,
And
and
go
good
ahead,
evening
Mr.
to the listening public.
Mm.
And I know that the discussion this evening will hope that it will provide some kind of information for the rethinking of our people and how they go out voting. Yeah, good evening, Melbourne. For the people. Good evening to the listening.
Well, thank you, Mr. Dishu. I don't think for me, maybe thank you for that, maybe introduction about the voting and so forth. No matter how we vote here in Liberia, please, yeah, Mr. Dishu, I think you have to have yourself mute. Yeah, thank you. That's great. So, yes, Mr. Dishu, thank you. And we're still waiting for Mark, Steve, and Brother Ali to be here with us. But again, Mr. Dishu, so many things been happening along the way. Our president out of the country in the US. And I don't know whether you want us to talk about the war news a little bit. Maybe since it is Friday, let's have some of our people informed about what's happening around the world, especially with the US, Iran, Israel war, and so forth. Maybe you want to just use a few minutes of our time while we wait for our other panelists to also join us. But what say you, Mr. Dishu? What happened around the world? The war is intensifying, and there's no peace deal for now. I don't know where we're heading to.
Yeah, well, maybe on the geopolitics right now, I believe that the whole world is in a turmoil. We're having serious problem in the Middle East, and it has affected Africa, it has affected Europe, and I think everybody is feeling the pinch at this particular moment. The latest that I got from the international news is telling us that the ceasefire at the Hormuz Strait is still having problems. The Iranians are asking people to take permission before crossing. So they have become a very serious issue, and America cannot protect other ships besides their own and Israel coming out of that particular area. So there's no protection for the poor or the needed at that particular time who are not participants of the particular war. They have been affected also. So there's a very serious problem, and I think that there will be no solution, but it have been allegedly said that Donald Trump sent his son-in-law to go and do the negotiation. And I watched some other tips stating that he collected $2 billion. That's why the negotiation is still hanging. It cannot go front, it cannot go backward. They have been accused. So I don't know, maybe Monk got better information. He will be able to learn me on it. And I'll be able to share my own information with him to see how we can come out talking the truth. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dishu. We've been following also some of the, I know there are a lot of maybe us who may not like the BBC, who may not like the Al Jazeera, the CNN, and so forth, but for some of us, for me, I follow all of the media highlights and some of the information sometimes that I see on BBC. I will also see it on Al Jazeera. Sometimes I see it on CNN and even the Fox News. So yes, indeed. Thank you so much. Monk is already here with us, my brother and friend. Monk, good evening to this Friday. Let's just chip in a little bit with the international news. But good evening first. How you doing, Monk?
Well, good to be here today. It's Friday. A lot happening. The whole war is still laser focused on the Strait of Hormuz. It's not only about Iran. I tell people when there is an international news, like in terms of geopolitics, you want to listen to the market makers, Wall Street, because every single instability is all about power, money, control, economy. The shooting of the bullet and the rocket is just like the symptom of the main problem. And Wall Street is a little bit post. Investors are watching the market. So if you were to trade now, you will be losing a lot of money because you cannot tell which direction the market might go into. And everybody's holding their cash and watching to see what's happening. I told folks the war in Iran, it's not about Iran. It's about China. Iran may be the one on the dashboard, but no, America are looking. We don't worry about country like Iran. Iran is now a major war power to change geopolitical dynamics. There are 4 major players on the board: United States, Russia, the European Union, and China. Anything that happens anywhere in the world, one of those 4 players might be involved. That's it. Nobody else on the board. The rest of them, they are just pawns in the game of chess. So I tell folks, if they don't need to call you for strategic meeting. You don't have to understand all the geopolitics. Just look at the major players and watch their everyday move, and then you will be able to make conclusions as to what's going on. There was a reason we went to Venezuela, Fred. The whole thing is about oil and energy. You know, the European told us a few years ago that they were going to renewable sources of energy. They were building wind turbine and solar panel. We told them, the men who created this planet put all the resources in this ground for all to use. But they believe that when you use energy, it means you are destroying the planet. So they were going to renewable sources, when in fact we were making preparation knowing that this day was coming. That's why I told folks the mantra for the Trump campaign in 2016 was drill, baby, drill, energy independence, because for too long we have been held captive to the Middle East. That was the reason we built all our military bases in the Middle East, maybe. The reason today the largest U.S. military bases in Saudi Arabia, because we wanted a constant flow of oil. That was the main reason we went after Saddam Hussein in the Gulf War, because he was trying to evade Kuwait, and the Saudis thought that they were going to be next after he succeeded in invading Kuwait. And the U.S. put billions of dollars to make sure we liberate Kuwait from the Iraqis under Saddam Hussein. So it's the same thing happening. At the end of the day, it's about the U.S. currency, it's about control to energy, and there's a strategy. At the end of the day, Donald Trump wants for people to buy American oil. We're going to be pumping a lot of oil. He wants to change the supply chain. Instead of all the money going to the Middle East, no, you guys will be forced to come and buy oil from the U.S. So when you put a blockade on the Strait of Hormuz, because that's what the Iranians wanted, they used the Strait of Hormuz like a bargaining chip. That every time they want to do something illegal, they will just choke the Strait and be like, oh, we'll suffocate the world economy, and then we got to go back. Sometimes we got to go and even bend over to give them what they need, because we got to let oil to keep flowing out of the Middle East. And the whole idea was they were selling oil to China, even though they were unsanctioned because of the Iranian deal. They were selling oil to China at a discounted rate. So the biggest loser in this war is China. China lost in Venezuela because they were getting cheaper oil on unsanctioned. Whenever a sanction is on a country, every business that it does is become illegal, and it will sell the product at a dead cheap price. So like I said, maybe if oil is trading at $100, China can get it for 20 or 30 bucks a barrel. That's way more, that they will pay less and get more energy in return. And the U.S. will not sit there and allow that to happen, like I said. So we went and we got Maduro. Now we got a constant flow of oil from Venezuela. The next major player is Iran. So at the end of the day, that's why you see they wanted to put a blockade on the strip that every ship that will pass should pay them $2 million per vessel in cryptocurrency. Iran's primary objective and China's primary objective is to unseat the US dollar. They know that's America's strength. That's America's biggest leverage. If they can trade oil outside of the US dollar, they will cripple the American economy. That's what the whole war is about. And like I said, I don't know about other presidents, but the guy who we supported in this country, I know it will not happen on his watch. That's why I bet my money on him in November to make better decisions for this country. Because why is the essence of being America? If the US dollar is no longer the reserve currency, we don't have economic advantage. Then it means China is just right next door to take over the rest of the world economy. And I know maybe it might happen in the future. Maybe it's something that is inevitable, but it will not happen on Donald Trump's watch. That's one thing that I know. That's the only place I can. That's the only way I can place my bet of all politicians in America. They all talk, and Donald Trump is the one that will get the job done. That's why we bet on him. So I know war to end up war.
So in that, more quickly, so are you insinuating that maybe all of the fighting that is ongoing is just about maybe certain interest? Because sometimes we hear Donald Trump talking about regime change.
Yeah.
Sometimes we hear everything. Now you're saying different thing though.
Regime change, there are so many ways you can do regime change. You can change the individual, you can change the system. When they say regime change, maybe you are dealing with the electorate and you're hoping that somebody within the hierarchy can have a friendly relationship with the Western world. Like, take for example, I listened to the former crown prince of Iran, the Shia, the son of the Shah. He was saying, we are not trying to change the world. We just want to go back to the old way of doing things. We had a civilization, we had a country. Like what I keep telling people, before 1979, there were more than 100,000 Jews that lived in Iran. And he said it in his interview yesterday, that when the Jewish people were building their temple, the Iranians helped them to build it. Even in the Palestinian and Israeli were never enemies. They did things together. They fought wars together. Everything, like I said, happening in the Middle East happened because of Iran. From Hezbollah. Do you know, let me tell you something, maybe when you read your history. At a certain point in time, you know what people used to go to school in the Middle East? In the 80s, in the 70s, where people would live from all parts of the Middle East. Beirut, Lebanon. They have some of the best universities in the world. They used to call them the Paris of the Middle East. People come from Israel. People leave from Iran, Iraq. They go to school in Beirut. Who spoiled Lebanon today? Iran, Hezbollah. Every major problem in that Middle East is because of Iran. That's why it's the most volatile region on the planet because of one country. It can keep going on for 50 years and more. Somebody must put an end to it. But I'll stop there.
Well, Monk, let me just say this. Monk, I think I didn't want to interrupt, but I think that you changed the goalpost for America. Because America entering the war with Iran, they said that they wanted regime change. After regime change, they changed it to about the oil business. I told you before, and you don't want to acknowledge it, that America won the war on behalf of Israel. And all of these things that you're talking, these are legal backings for America. Yes, America won energy. Yes, America won this thing and that thing. But before that, the world was all right. We had no war. And if it was prompted up, it was not prompted up from the Americans. Because when you listen to the House of Representatives in America and even the Senate, you will find the Senate views, and they're always in the majority against what happened. Now you send negotiators, you don't send no experienced negotiator, you go and send your son-in-law. All of these faults here, we have to bring it to light because these are things that we believe that the war was taken side only because of personal interest and personal greed. Have messed the whole world up. Why should he send his son-in-law Khrushchev to go and negotiate when we have experienced negotiators in America who have been part of this particular thing that brought peace to the world, but refuse to pick them? Look at the cabinet minister that Trump picked. It's almost like Liberia, picking young guys, people that not part of the intelligence world, because if you, the minister of defense, and you sack your Navy general, you sack about 5 different generals during a wartime, what does it tell you? What does it tell you? So there's a lot of problems. So I don't want us to go deep into this because I wanted us to stress on Liberia today the intersection of selected justice and the precedents behind selected justice after it has been done, what the future holds for Melbourne daughter, what it holds for my grandchildren there in Liberia, the precedents that have been set today on the faulted cases that will be able to be applied in the next government, which will be fair, clean, and everything. It will affect it. So these are the things I want to discuss this evening. Thank you.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. We get transition to.
Yeah, Mark. Jerry, yes, Mark. Maybe in passing, Jerry respond to yes, to Mr. Dishu. Then we will not transition because they get interesting. Because it's a lot of things, some of the things you talk about have to do with the war and some of the maybe some of the points that, for example, America going to the war. Maybe thinking about in fact regime change, and at the end of the day, it's not. Maybe someone will say it's no longer about regime change, but their own interest. But go ahead, Mark.
Like I say, every war is about interest. that whole idea that America is going to Israel war is just a talking point, you know. The reason it is because the guy who's in office now is not their favorite. You know, when you listen to every Democrat or Republican president running for president, they will always talk about the protection of Israel. We all know the role that Israel plays in the Middle East on behalf of America when it comes to intelligence. Whether it's Hillary Clinton or Pamela Harris, you play any video dating back to Reagan. The biggest lobbying group in America is the AIPAC. They are Jewish people. So the whole nonsense about, oh, we are going, maybe sorry for my expression, I will not use the word nonsense to respect Mr. Dishu. The whole idea that America is going to fight Israel, well, that's a lie. The Iranians killed more Americans than any other country in the Middle East. It started from 1979. They held American hostages.
I disagree with you on that one, Monk. I really disagree with you.
They bombed U.S. code.
I really disagree with you because
they are the one that killed the most American soldiers, even in the war with Iraq when they supported the Mahdi army under Muqtada Assad. All the bombs that were used in Iraq were supplied by Iran. So the whole idea that we're going to war for Israel, it's just nothing but, you know, it's just a charade. It's not the most important issue. But
yeah,
like
maybe the things that you're saying, they are factual information, you know, that we can find anywhere else. But the underlying thing about Israel influencing America, if you try to doubt that, that is why I doubt you. Yeah, because America had negotiated before this government came in. America had a decent proposal that was already out in the world was safe. It was the last negotiation that the Democrats did. But because you're Republican, you don't want to accept that negotiation was faulty. How will it be faulty when the world was running and was no problem until lately and have been on different stations that the Israeli, this particular Benjamin man have been influencing other presidents and they did not agree to go to this particular war. So the information you're hearing and the information I'm hearing and others are hearing, you are backing something on one side. I believe that you're backing something on one side because openly, everybody has stated in America, senators, congressmen that have stated that the war was influenced by Israel.
Well, that's not all. That's a portion of them, especially for liberals. That's a talking point. When we went to Libya, they didn't say we're going to fight another country war. When we went to Iraq, it was never another country war. Every time the U.S. went to war, the same thing. Oh, the president never got a permission from Congress. When last? 10 different wars dating back to Vietnam. No president went to Congress. You go to Congress after 90 days to make an extension of a war because Congress is not the one to defend this country. The president is the only president that took an oath of office to go to war and to protect this country. So they go to war initially and then come later before they can ask Congress for extension. But when it's Donald Trump, no, he needs permission.
No, I think we have to check the argument out that America will go to war without informing the House or the Congress people and go to war and say it's for real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I will try to find out. Oh, maybe you're talking the truth. I will have to find out because it is hard to believe that a president of a country will go to war and without informing the Congress and the Senate as a whole to get their support. Because in time of funding the war, it will have to be those same people that will have to fund it.
No.
So if you don't inform them and you go to war and after war you come and ask them for funding, it's a question mark.
It's not a question mark. They got a bill for it. They call it the war. They call it the War Powers Act. In an emergency, when Obama went to Libya, he didn't ask Congress. That's why I told you I can name more than 10 different wars that president went to without getting. When Bush went to Panama, he didn't ask Congress. When you enter into a war and you know that the war is going to extend, that when you come to Congress for an extension. But in an emergency, you go to war without congressional approval. That's the standard in America. So I don't know which news you'll be watching, but that's the reality. But anyway, Steve, welcome to the show. I don't want to take all the time on this stuff.
Thank you, Monk. Thank you for, having me on and recognizing my presence. I appreciate you. I've been listening very carefully to you and Mr. Dishu about what's going on in terms of Israel and so forth. Milborn, good afternoon. Mr. Dishu, good afternoon. Folks, you'll help us share the show, please. Today we discussing BBT. They say Joseph Boaga came to America for them to award him. We want to know the award. Who created that award? Well, funny thing. It's even shameful that Joseph Boaga called a Liberian dog, but he still can't do America. So I'm asking, which one the dog hosting him, or which one the dogs that are hosting in America? We'll be detailing. I saw a picture of Joseph Boaga today walking through the I forgot to send that image of video, but I was maybe when I find that video again, I will submit it to you so that you can play it for the people. When Joseph Boaga comes,
you are quite correct. I think it's video, yeah.
When Joseph Boaga comes to America, he can walk like a handicap.
How you know?
Yeah, that's a crooked papi. When he in Labrador, he can be bouncing like a ganga ball. And you get said that thing. You remember? He was acting like he Japo, like Johnny Japo. Just see Joseph Boaga walking on that thing. And guess what? The American put on his get up. They didn't give a heck about him to tell you that you're not nobody in zero balance. Yeah. That is Labrador can be flexing him also acting funny. Yeah. We'll play that video. I don't know. As the show goes on, we'll probably find the video. But no more. We have some big problem on our head with Joseph Boaga, and we need to get to it. You know, I see people making noise regarding what's going on in Liberia. Today I saw a video from one of the I saw a video which I will send to you, Melbourne and Monk, from one of the representatives from California. I saw a video from him. His name is Representative Ted Lieu. Melbourne, let me send it so you can play that video, because people passing around, when you criticize the war, let Donald Trump here, some more don't support Donald Trump. There has been criticism from the war from both sides, from both houses of this war with Iran. Donald Trump never wanted to say it was. Melbourne, wait, let me send it to you and Monk quickly. And I think Mr. Dishiu, I got Mr. Dishiu the other time. You know, Monk, maybe I send it to you. Can you play that short video for us? Because we won't be factual. I will send it to Mr. Dishiu too, so you can hear serious-minded people. This is what people can talk about. That your national security nonsense you got going on. National security put there, you can only put money there, you take the money from there. We national security you focus on. Maybe I beg you play that. I beg you, Chief, play that. And we told your Liberian people that it's time that all of you who were sitting on the fence today, my focus will be on the opposition who were giving Joseph. That my first time to hear in my life, you say you opposition. Then you say you're giving government 2 years, 3 years. Look, I don't support Donald Trump, but Donald Trump held Joe Biden's feet to the fire from day one of his presidency, even before you were not over there. That's what you do. Your leader talk about, oh, you're not patriotic, you not love the country. Your lead that story. Lead that story. Who told you when you oppose government when they're doing wrong, that means you're not patriotic? In fact, you are more patriotic when you do that. That means you got balls. You big ball. That's what it means. It means you can say the truth. Let's do Representative Lieu.
The United States has, the United States will lose. And that is because we will run out of munitions. In this unconstitutional war in Iran, based on new media reporting, the United States has already expended 50% of our THAAD interceptor missiles, 50% of our Patriot missiles, and 30% of our Tomahawk missiles. And this is only about a month and a half. And so China and Russia are looking at this, knowing they can just stockpile up on drones and ballistic missiles. And every few months, the United States will run out of munitions to defend against that.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Or certain representative, also representative, say America will lose the war against Iran. Yeah. Does that mean that he didn't like America? Does that mean that he's not patriotic? Does that mean that he doesn't care about? Look, there are facts and reality. And I stand by what I saw. Let me tell you something. Me, I always stand by the truth and reality. That's why I'm not into everybody fall in line. when the facts are available and realities are there, I will stand with it. Here is one fact and one reality. There is no way Labro can go to war with Guinea and Labro win. That's not true. That is not true. Labro will be defeated flat down. If you say I'm not patriotic, I don't love Labro because I made that statement, like your business, I don't care. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the facts. And the facts here include Labro so you're gonna eat on time. That's a simple question. Labro so you're gonna eat on time. You better get food to eat. You are not able to sustain and maintain your military personnel. The military wife got to go get in the street to make enough for food, for rest, and other things. The people can eat. You're not able to take care of them. The money you so get to them, you're stealing. And you tell me, say, first of all, let me say to Joseph Boaga, that thing what they're playing with Guinea thing. If anything should come out of that thing, let me announce to Joseph Boaga, the military people will take out their boost and become surveillance. Somebody, there's a noise. There's a feedback. The military people, what they did to do, they will take out a boost and leave. They're not going to die for you. That foolishness that you own. Maybe you need to go get Tomo Fala and Richard Kune and that other one who passing around say they expiring people. Maybe you need to go carry them for them to go fight. Because no soldier man, no police man, no army man will fight for that foolishness. No way. No way. It's not going to happen. Nobody going to die for foolishness. No, it's not going to happen. Plus, the people are not even equipped. Leave all that noise, getting scared when they're making. What you need? I don't want God looking at to say he swallowed living pig. What you need? What nigga? What nigga look at somebody who's looking at what again? What nigga God looking at swallow living pig? He looking at somebody.
They meant to looking at pumpkin.
You're talking in that country there. I get it.
General in there so that the message
the
message start war in Conakry.
I hear what other one saying the gay Guinea. I know I think it won't win after I hear him talking for Nima Kantano calling General Greg Bayer in world classes that day like he addicted to criminality. Passing around in world dark classes, I know General Greg Bayer or whatever his name is, talking about foolishness. You can breathe, you get food to eat. Like you went for you think that food in our there 1990. Some of you were younger 1990, you are energy. But the people we had nah. You tell boy nigga to run from to the room to the door. You will run out of breath. I don't want to be talking funny thing there. So let me say this to the Liberian people. To the Liberian people who are Joseph Boaga agree with Guinea that the land is for Guinea folks. I hear that other some funny people writing all kind of things. Say that. You know sure anymore. You don't know what you're talking. He don't know what you're talking. He's as confused as he gets. Yeah, he's a lucky young boy who they're king and they put in power. He know what you're talking. But Joseph Boaga agree with Guinea the land for them. You not hear Marabio and Sierra Leone making noise about the land again. Because that's how responsible government acts. They communicate clearly, effectively, and timely. Our government has not been able to do that. Joseph Boaga knows that the land is for Guinea. And if you will say, I'm not patriotic because I said that at your business again, the land Joseph Boaga knows for Guinea, he agree with Guineans. Joseph Boaga agree with Guineans. You leave no lawmakers, you leave Amara Kone, you leave Yeke Koluba alone, you reinstate Yeke Koluba. You reinstate Yeke Koluba. There is no need of making all the funny calls. You reinstate Yeke Koluba. Honorable Yeke Koluba must be reinstated. Because you know what the truth is? The truth is this. Amara Kone, what he said, that truth is on the internet. Your ignorance does not stop the world from moving. Who told you if you don't know that airplane, when you sit on airplane, you can travel? That means that people not sitting on airplane before. Who told you that? So your ignorance don't stop the world from moving. The world is moving ahead. So yes, everything Amara Kone said is the truth. And let me say this on the show, in a way that I can call him a rescue, a war room senator. If he said the truth, I will echo the truth.
My young man, don't spoil the whole team. That time I go to you just be
Don't
spoil the whole team. Wait, but we don't even war room. Is it war room? War room hero or war room?
Rescue war room senator. American,
Thank you.
You are talking, giving number, talking funny thing, eh? So the funny thing I want to tell you. So I'm saying this.
Oh no, go ahead, Steve. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me
Steve, smart.
Maybe I'm starting to work with my saying so my baby. So rescue war room senator in American. You're leaving alone. Okay. The thing when you say that too. American knows the numbers. You're not forget. Yes, American knows the numbers. And when American were discussing yesterday, you were discussing numbers. That's what I say. That's true. So at the end of the day, you stop all this unnecessary noise. Just focus on the thing that will benefit our people. We are begging you. You leave all the unnecessary noise because at the end of the day, we will just end up in your noise. Your says, yeah, okay, you not do nothing. You not want you to say this. So you please leave your friend alone. So my monk, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Monk.
Yes, sir. Like I said, they follow the directive thing. The worst, it affect the president himself, because I know the president is the commander-in-chief. You know, the whole thing they're talking about gross disclosure of national security information. How do you consider information that is out in the open to be national security? Matter of fact, sensitive information is not the same as classified information. Like you just give an example of a lawmaker from California talking about the ballistic missile, U.S. stockpile. When you say that's classified information, no. That's general information. How do you tell which military in the war is powerful? They can check the number of aircraft carrier, the number of planes, the number of fighter jets. So the whole nonsense that somebody, you don't even have a national security strategy, because if you have one, we will have heard from your president, your national security advisor, your national security committee in the House when it comes to the lawmaker. But you don't even have a military doctrine that we Liberian people can be 100% betting on. And you're talking about somebody leaking classified information or putting out sensitive information. How can you consider something sensitive when he giving the South of the Guinean army compared to the South of the Liberian army? Don't forget he was former finance minister. He got more information. He's the one that can pay the bill and write the check on behalf of the country. He knows exactly how much of national security. You don't think he know the strength of your military? How is that considered classified information or privileged information? So, like I said, it gets an serious country, and people don't focus on the thing they need to focus on the most. So that's why these guys keep playing for. And the second thing that caught my attention, he calling for an investigation into Amara. I said, but then why you didn't do the same? For Yeke, it was a quick expulsion. For Amara, you want to go through procedure. If you say what the difference between Amara, I think Yeke Koluba is better off than Amara. Yeke Koluba only say the land belong to Guinea, that's a disputed land. Anybody can take position on anything.
Exactly.
We saw the foreign minister of all people in Sierra Leone telling Sierra Leone that where we have a flag was 1.4 kilometers into Guinean territory. Nobody from Sierra Leone accused you of committing a crime, except for that 1847 country where people can do things emotionally instead of thinking. We come and accuse of men who say, oh, based on my research, the land belongs to Guinea. If anybody, just say for argument's sake, that committed any gross national security breach, then Amara Konen to be in a worse position than Yeke. Because Yeke will give you a personal opinion, Amara Konen is giving the strength of your military, including the budget and how much you got there. So who you think gave her more classified information if you want to make that case? But for Yeke, no. You want quick expulsion. With Amara Konen, you're calling for an investigation into his statement. You're a choker, you are a comedian, but I don't blame you anyway. That's Liberia, so you are able to do anything you want to do. I stop there.
That's why I say everything is being selective. You know, there's the intersection of selective justice. Kula Fofana, what she said, they never brought it out to light.
Oh, yeah.
Other people said things, and they never brought it out to light. So this selectiveness of, I think, the precedents is going to be bad for the future, because if the judiciary and the law and the legal people accept these kind of things, when the foreign government comes in and they are there for the right thing, the presidents will embarrass them, because it has been set and it has been agreed upon during the 40 times. So we should talk against these things, because these things going to damage the future. These different presidents going to damage the future. And I told you there's a pattern. And the pattern is still going on. These people trying to get against anybody that will go against them for 2029.
Yep.
And they go into the senators now, like we have been saying before. It started off with the low branch coming up, representative coming out to senator. So, like what Steve said before, that CMC should watch up, because we see the pattern going out. So right now, if you say anything, it's not like before that we have freedom of speech. If you say anything now, they will capitalize on it, and because of the precedent being set, they will put it upon you.
Everything good afternoon, guys. How you doing? Steve, Mong, and then of course my dear brother Dishir. Mabel, how's it going, bro? Look, guys, this country is at a crossroad here. I think we are literally at a cliff now, in fact, falling off. But listen, these overzealous Unity Party guys, they would do anything. They don't care the ramification. Whether the country gets a light of fire, as long as it comes to their overzealous greed for power, they will do anything. So is the case with Yan Twanya. Yan Twanya is a Unity Party zealous. The plan there is to silence all critical voices in that place. Just imagine the habit of a lawmaker constantly demanding that a friend could be investigated. What it tells you, not even at the caucus level, but the individual that drop on the floor. But made the man say something, you investigated man. So was the case with that other funny guy from Bunker that called Sumo. Sumo Gara, he said they might investigate Yeke. He wrote there and he demanded that they might investigate Yeke, and today we have the Yeke saga. So is the case with this other overzealous guy from Nima County, talking about they might investigate Amara Kone because he's stating the obvious.
Things got the president from Yeke work.
Yes. So it's the overzealous behind it. Now, that's why you see Julia Cannibal from the PUS speaking out today, they're telling you that you are on the trajectory of silencing the opposition in that place and critical voices. And those people, they are head bent on those kind of behavior. Nothing's going to stop them. They are afraid of nothing because the ramification, they see that nothing is happening. So it's the culture of impunity. We will do it and nothing will happen. Who is Nyan trying to tell your colleague, you investigate the man, and he's demanding it? He's demanding it, and then
he's not even on the National Security Committee, AB. He's not even on the National Security Committee.
He's not on the National Security Committee. And what was discussed, even I'm not going to raise a selling point for the interest of the very national security, telling you the allocations that needs to be made for the armed forces of Liberia. And he's making a comparison, and obviously he got to make a comparison. Like Steve stated, it was good that you played that video for at least Liberians to understand that in this great part of the world we find ourselves, lawmakers are not strangulated here or silenced because they speak their position on critical national issues of the United States. They tell you, the lawmaker is telling you that the ballistic missile are running down from the United States. It's not a hidden thing. Even pundits on the media, every day they sit on the show, they talk about it. Former military people, they talk about it. Those are people that have national security clearances around here. And they speak on national issues. How much more Liberia, what are you talking about? The problem there, Steve, is that these guys don't want you to talk about that border issue anyway. Look, that border issue there, until otherwise, is a foregone conclusion that Guinea going to occupy that place. And because of that, these people don't want you to talk about it. Because why? It became an arbitrage on them politically, that they don't want to talk about it. They must silence everybody. So at the end of the day, it will not be something that will drag them down. That's the calculated plot.
Right.
Steve, let me come in 1 second there and turn it over to you because AB said something. I don't want to lose my screen of thought here. It tells you a lot about the country than the individual running the country, right? Because take for example, the whole border incursion, it came from a bordering town, a region in the country where the president himself hailed from, right? And the Guinean crossed into the Liberian territory, or the perceived Liberian territory, if you want to put it that way, and hosted a flag. We got towns and villages that live their lives in fear. Some of them won't even be farming this season because of the fear that Guinean occupied the land. You think any serious commander-in-chief with a national security implication will pack his bag and leave from Liberia and come to the U.S.? Who's calling a national security? Who called the president? How important is this trip that your president, the man who's supposed to be the commander-in-chief, will leave your country? It tells that he have no interest in what's happening at the border because he have already made concession. That's the only reason a man whose country will be invaded or intruded upon will leave a country to come to the comfort of America for whatsoever reason, when in fact you have a national security issue.
To add up to it, 3 months now, 3 months going now, they may have never even visited our region to even understand the plight of the people. Let me tell you this, Mon, to add up to what you're stating, when the 1989 invasion started, Samuel Doe, the first thing, like I told you guys, they brought Gerald Goyen into question. Chief, yeah, you say you saw rebels around here. And then those are the information he gave. And the government acted upon it. Samuel Doe, the first thing he did, he visited Ganta. He went to Nima County to understand what was happening in Nima County, whether they like it or not. But the idea, in his capacity as the commander-in-chief, that was the role he played. Baga been to Lofa to even understand the plight of the people there, and that's his own district. Yeah.
And you can get
not even gone there or even send his vice president or somebody there to understand the plight about. Rather, he sent a police director there, what dress up all around, he marched around, he couldn't even get to the border, and he came by Monrovia. Up to today's date. The other guys that went over there, they sang, the more we are together, the merrier we are, whatever song they were singing along the road. You never got any briefing from them. A serious group of people there. Come on, man.
Well, folks, when we say these things, people get vexed with us.
Don't keep getting vexed, Steve. Never keep getting vexed.
People, when we write for these things, people come want to attack us. But we have, at some point, you can't. It's okay for you to believe your own lies, but everybody will not believe it.
No,
everybody will not fall in. Everybody will not fall in line. We are not the same. We are all Liberians, but we are not the same. Some of us, the things that we now see, the places we're been in life, we hold government to the expectations are high, and certain things that will be completed. Yeah. So this idea, like you guys said, that President just left Liberia. Now they're going after another guy, Samuel, Sam P. I know what he means.
The same guy from Bummy.
Sam P. Jala, who said he never signed a word.
Yeah.
And yes, he never
not say anything. Yes. Don't say anything.
So that's why they're going after Sam P. Jala now, because Sam P. Jala never stopped there. The budget, the money that they signed for in the House of Representatives, that they got in, they usually sign people need and say, we sign a resolution. The man said they never signed the other one too. No. He said he never signed.
And somebody can be saying that song just signed for everybody.
And you would think this is something, these are things now that are supposed to call for investigation, an impartial open investigation in the House to go ascertain the facts. You get Mema Bridge or whatever it is, but you get Mema, sometimes some things are just discouraging. I listen to her, to kind of find out if she actually signed this thing or whatever it is. The truth about it, she never signed the paper. That just big show and lie she did that day. And one of the things that me personally I hate to see women lying, especially grown women. Two things I don't like. I don't like old people to lie, and I don't like women to lie. Yeah. It looks very funny. It looks very someone sat there just making noise, talking around the issue. When they answer the question, if you tell me I can sign it 27 times, I can sign it the other time. You are not even in the country. So when did you sign this? Did you sign it before you left? You can't tell me obviously you signed it when you came back because the thing was already out. So at the end of the day, you see the games, these people, you see the things that they are doing, and in their mind, let me say this, in their mind, they think they're smart. That's the problem. How can you be crooked business and you think you're smart? And this is the same mentality. Just before the guys come on, this is the same mentality we got in Liberia with some of our family members, our friends, our loved ones. You will send them money to do your land or to do something for you. They will trick you, and they think they're smart. I don't get smart. How do you undermine yourself in the name of that? That's being smart. That's politics. You know, I understand politics. You don't understand legislative politics. It's legislative politics going to collect money to some deals that you have no inclination. You've never read them. You don't know how long they're for. You don't know what the long-term impacts are. You don't know what's going to happen. This is why we keep having this reoccurrence of one government come, you know, they got to focus on the same thing that other government are focusing on. This is where we are stuck because we get people who just signing. You don't know what you are signing. You've not read what you are signing. You have no clue what you are signing. You don't know the long-term impact. So it's a problem in itself, guys. So let me open it up. You know, this is very, 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 very troubling. Sam Jala, according to the one investigating to Richard Kuhn, Cohen, or whatever it is. This is troubling. We must have people that will be able to say the truth. We must.
These are the things that we have been talking about, Steve. You are correct, 100%.
Steve, let me tell you this.
Yeah. Hold on. Let Mr. Dishu finish. I beg you.
Okay.
Yeah, Steve, what you said, 100%, I agree with you, because what is happening and what we should expect in the future is the accumulation of the biases, biases, opinion that are faulted, and it will affect the legal practice for the future. Because if we have these rulings made today, the precedent affect and ensure that it is repeated for decades, and it have been 10 years plus now that these same things have been going on. So we are caught up into a web that we cannot find ourselves out of. You know, we're trying to go in different angles of the web to see whether we can get out, but we are caught into it. The public, the people, the country, and all the officials, we're into a web that we trying to shadow the precedents. But even if the law is neutral on paper, it is only enforced against a special demographic. You know, the poor man can never get justice. The rich man will always be over him. And when you go to court, you got money, you win. All of these things here, it goes to a broken a failed state, you know. So we have to address the issue. Like I said, Steve, I think that's the right way for us going to try to point out the intersection of these selected justices that is going on in our country, and to make the public aware that what the government is saying is not that true. They should have a second thought of whatever is being said there, because it will come a time that when you go to court, if you carry a case, if you're a poor man, you know you're going to lose. And it shouldn't happen like that. Nobody should be thinking like that. As a poor man, if you know that you're right and you carry a case to the court, you have confidence that you're going to win. But it's not in the mind of the people. So the next 2 or 3 years, everybody that going to court should know what pens that they're putting on to go to that particular court, because if you know you're poor, you're not going to win. If you know you don't have a connection within the government, you know you're not going to win. If you know you don't have the judge and the lawyers on your side, you're not going to win. So it will never be the legal thing the right way anymore. But because of these shagged precedents that are being set, is what the people going on. So tracking the big people that are coming forward is a precedent that are being set on Yeke, on Prophet Key, and different people about their cousin business and different wordings. So the Abdullah Kamara Act now, it has been erased. That's a question I want to ask the Liberian people. Has it been erased?
Thank you. Thank you. Let's hear from Ibrahim. Ibrahim, go ahead, please. Go ahead, Ibi.
Yeah. Just to add to what my dear brother Dishi was talking about, Mo and Steve, you guys are forgetting. This is the same thing they did to this guy, Jacob Debbie. Jacob Debbie was the one that raised the issue about the $200,000 they used to visit the border, the lawmaker. Do you know that this guy was coerced for him to even sign onto the Yeke impeachment because they threatened him that they were going to prosecute and investigate him based on the information that he gave that.
AB, we can hear you.
Yeah, I think AB having some connection.
If there's something is done about it, we are heading in a bad direction, guys. I know that a lot of people, a younger generation, maybe they don't know what culminated into the war in Liberia. But these were the drip that led to that war in that place. Now you're looking at a figure like Amara Kone, you're threatening them, literally trying to malign him or trying to even, if possible, remove him from his seat because he has become a critical voice. It's troubling.
Quickly, before you continue, let me just make this announcement that the station or the management said that we should continue with the show.
Thank you.
15 minutes of news break, so we should continue with the show. But we can go ahead.
All right. Yeah, thank you to the management.
Yeah, guys. I mean, Steve, I can go ahead. I just wanted to point out that they did not take it because it's not one person situation. Anybody that speak out, they become a critical voice. I mean, guys, just tell me for crying out loud. What kind of conscious leader that you got a lieutenant that stood by you, fought for you? Look at Mr. Trump. When Trump took over here, the June 6th rioters, unconditional message gave the clemency. But you got Joseph Boakai, a guy that fought for him just because somebody said they insulted him. The guy is languishing in jail for 6 months. Why you as a president can't get executive clemency? What would Chief Justice do to you? You have the power to do that. But because of insensitivity and people that have fought for you, they're going to be maligned, they're going to be disgraced, they're going to be humiliated and silenced in that country. You don't care about it.
I'm trying to find the tip that one of the representatives stated the reason why they went out late last night to send this thing was because some people did not get their money. Can you?
Yeah, because you will
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
We're talking. Go ahead.
No, I'm done, Steve.
All right, then, Mr. Dishu, you can say what you had to say.
Yeah, I was watching one of the tips that one of the representatives was questioned about why they had to go to the next section. He said the reason was that some people did not get their money, so they didn't sign. They did not sign, and the signature was not done until late that evening because when they went, they could not get the numbers to sign. So one person went and signed for some other people. So when the confusion came out, they had to set up that these people will get paid between this weekend or next week. Serious talk. That's a representative that is expressing what happened. He's part of it. So you can see that this whole thing here, these people manufactured conditions to get money. And the money are being paid when the hospitals and stuff like that need urgent need of medications and stuff, and the schools and stuff. They can never make the remittance fast. But to pay the people, why are the remittance going so fast and the people get paid in less than 2 or 3 days? I mean, this is a way of sucking the government down. I mean, sucking the blood out of the Liberian people through the taxpayers' money. And these people give, they don't even give a D, we call it damn, about what they're doing. They have no subconscious mind to think that, oh, what we're doing, it may affect us tomorrow, because tomorrow I put my point finger to, oh, when we're not in office, they're not even thinking about that. What I believe is that most of them gathering their money and they're saving their money now because they know tomorrow they will not be there and they will have money to survive on, because they have seen some of their friends who are part of this, how they're running their life now, and they don't have money, they're begging those ones who are in offices and stuff like that. So everybody preparing themselves, and these young guys, they had never handled this kind of money in their lives before. They had never ridden in a car that was more than 10,000. Now they're riding a car that's about 45,000 plus. It's a dream for them, you know. So they will try to keep the clock together, because when you enter it, it will tell you what you're going to do. You remember when Dylan went to the Senate and he was very boastful and stuff like that? What did Abacha tell him? He said, my man, all that thing you're talking, you have come down. And what happened after a few times? And he became a subordinate to them also. So these are the things that affect the clock that within the setting is a systematic and have been engineered. So you cannot penetrate it, because it's a system. When you get inside it, they will tell you the rules and regulations. You have to follow it. But who suffers? The Liberian people. We suffer. Our children suffer. Our grandchildren going to suffer in the future for these things. And this thing is being continuous and it's still happening. When we're going to put stop to this special hearing and these people taking their $5 and $6 million out of it every time? When we're going to stop it? Because that special extra money going to these people for nothing. That's all.
Let me come in 1 second. You know, like I said, everything happening in the country says a lot about the voters itself than the people running the country. Most people, the thing that we're supposed to focus on the most, we don't focus on these things. And that's why I said the Yeke Koluba situation was the main reason Joseph Baga reconvened those lawmakers and used extra amount of money. He was not interested in printing. They believe anything they want, they can get. They can print money at will if they want to. Nobody's going to object to that. They can come up with supplementary budget for national security, a whole other crap. They don't care about that. That's why Yeke Koluba took 90% of the entire 10 days. Guess what happened yesterday? Yesterday, the budget that was passed, it went to the Senate without a breakdown of the budget except a transmitter letter. And normally Canada sat there and passed. How do you pass something you cannot see? And you call it a concurrent. So it means the horse just came out with, because they spent all the time behind Yeke, that they never even had time for the budget except to deliberate on the budget. They just passed something in a hurry and sent a letter to the Senate without even the breakdown of the entire budget itself. And guess what? It got passed. Maybe we don't have a country. We've been a failed state for a very, very long time. The whole idea that we got a country and we got a democracy, it's a lie. Maybe how do you send a budget, the biggest instrument in the entire bureaucracy in the country, without the Senate getting the copy? Only a letter, but yes, she approved something that she never saw.
And to that, Mom, that was made sense that I didn't to also walk out of the session, thinking that no, this is an insult to us. How we're going to pass something that we don't even understand. But Mom, let me ask you, Mr. Dishu and then Brother AB, on the same budget issue. Is that recast or is a supplementary budget? Because I'm not understanding. I want you people to really make this thing clear to our people in the simplest form. Because recast, supplementary.
That is a trick that they use on Liberian people. They use all the big words without telling the common man, which is in the majority, 90%. They don't tell them the common way of how they do the thing. They bring out the big terminology within the setting and confuse the people. Supplementary budget and all of these things here. These things are just set up to steal. Now, I follow this particular thing like what Darius didn't did. Darius didn't walk out because of what Monk was saying. They never showed the bill. He and Prince Moyi on the same committee. He and Prince Moyi sitting there, they had agreed upon the Senate side. But when the people when the House of Representatives sent theirs, they did not send nothing. They only sent the letter accompanying the particular bill, and that bill was not seen. So they don't say, I will not sign until I see and concur with what we have here before I will be able to sign. And that was not produced. Now, when they done left, Spoon Network called him and he stated his reason. Snow called and stated his reason that they went after they done left. He said Prince Moyi brought the information of what they needed. But then if Prince Moyi had the information, why he didn't give it at that time before they done left? So I found this thing tricky. You know, the smartest man in that whole Senate is Prince Moyi boy. He don't talk much, but he is a man from the House of Representatives. He was in charge of Ways and Means. In the House, in the Senate there, he still Ways and Means. So it was these two committees that made up the budget. Then they were bringing the plenary. So within that setting with those 10 guys, the 5 guys from the Senate and 5 guys from the House, there are 10 guys that can make way and damage the whole country. So the Ways and Means committee people are the people who are damaging because they will always have some legal way of expressing it that will be accepted by those who are going to vote upon it. So there's a dangerous game we're playing. That Prince Moyi guy is a guy that is damaging and is still damaging our economy.
Mong, you there? Hello? Mong? I think maybe kind of went up.
But maybe you heard what I said, right?
I want you to explain the phenomenon, right? The Constitution says that the budget should originate from the House and the Senate should concur. How can your Senate concur on the budget that they never saw except with a letter coming from
Yeah.
the House?
But you see, this is the problem. Like the pattern we've been talking about. I know maybe Mong asked about what it is. From my understanding, this is a supplementary budget. It's not a recast yet, because there were increment in the allocation. Say Bwaka will request about $45 million supplementary budget, and the money is for somehow to say the money to get some kind of revenue from somewhere in the tune of $8 million that amounted to.
You say World Bank. You say World Bank money.
It's at 53
Yeah,
million.
you use the word World Bank, yeah.
So in that vein, they came there. The problem there is this. Even the explanation Prince Moyi gave, because I listened to that program yesterday, Mong, it's just a bogus thing. They said, oh, but the law there when we're discussing it. Granted, the fact that you're discussing it, in mind you, they had a problem last year budget. There was a $20 million noise for certain things that happened similar way. If the budget goes back to the lower house of parliament and they include anything in it, regardless whether you guys discuss it in joint session, eventually, if the lower house make a decision, they're not going to make a decision in the presence of the Senate. Now, it's incumbent upon the Senate when such a budget is passed from the lower house, they send it over there for concurrence. You got to peruse it to make sure that indeed the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted. But no, that was never the case. They send a letter to tell them, oh, gentlemen, yeah, we passed the budget, yeah, we have a letter, yeah. So when it come over there, just sign. And they sign something onto it. That was Dillon's contention. Now, Honorable Snow came out later on, he said he and Amara Connor, in fact, supported Dillon's position. And when Dillon walked, then later on, they brought a very budget and they review it and they find out that indeed it was in line to whatever there's going. The question there is that, even trying to ask about, was the budget passed before the actual budget, the arrival of the actual budget in the Senate? And nobody could answer that. So because if you pass a decision already before you can even peruse the records, I don't know why we had it. Because this thing about all the men are there, but they make somebody can get PP for him, somebody can this and that, all the kind of thing. It's ridiculous. Lawmakers in the United States, sometimes they can even take it, cause them to find a way to get a flight to get on it just to come and cast a vote for a particular situation in Washington D.C. They will do it. Nobody going to go proxy for them.
But I want to ask you a question. Here's the thing about the whole so-called supplemental budget. We know technically the whole idea being our supplemental budget is to address unforeseen circumstances, right?
Yes.
That the main intent anywhere in the world, that's just why it is. So you can make the case for the border incursion. But they're talking about healthcare. And these guys told that they increased the budget for healthcare and education in the original budget. So why was some of the unforeseen circumstances that we incorporate education, healthcare into this new supplemental budget? And then the second question is, what happens if we're not getting that extra 200 million sign-up bonus? How are these guys going to come up with additional spending with respect to the budget? How they are going to cover it up? Because even with the budget, they are taking all the extra spending. So what happened in the absence of the 200 million? What would have happened to Liberia by now?
Now, that's a legitimate question. One of the things that I heard from that, because I have not had the opportunity to read it, but from what they were explaining, some of the allocations that were made, they allocated payroll for how do you call it, this hospital, ERW hospital, when in fact it's a private entity, but they allocated money for that. They had an increment from the military. I think that initially they were for certain amount and they increased it to certain amount predicated on the prevailing situations. Okay, but the thing about it is that Monk, those things are legitimate concerns. Obviously, country war over, they will have this supplementary budget for unforeseen circumstances. But the procedure leading to those things, it should not be kind of surreptitious thing that will bring about more question and answers. These monies are taxpayers' money. It should be properly deliberated. And you understand? But to make it also somebody not there to sign on, and you're paying those guys for 10 days to come and sit over there because the 10 days elapsed, they were doing everything in a hurry to get out of that place. And you understand more? So that's the problem there. Until this thing they come to the limelight, to the people to understand it, because that was what Americans were addressing, especially with regard to the military. They said we need to give them monies. And it's all the man revealing how to call it national security issues. So if you ask the question, I don't know whether that suffices, but I mean from my understanding that's
yes.
it.
So to that, brother AB, you are quite correct, because I think I myself I follow some of the budget lines that I was asking before we went off. I'm sorry for that. But again, you also talk about the ERWA, and that's so interesting. How come our own government hospitals around here still struggling? They have workers still protesting back to back, and in fact, there's nothing been done about them. Now you want to give maybe to private institutions, people who are making thousands of dollars per month or per day or per week. You want to give them money, or in fact, you want to pay their staff. And so, I think Eddie Medicino said that, okay, if we will take the salary of ERWA staffs, then let's make it like, let our citizens be able to also benefit, because our taxpayer money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what kind of country we're running here to admit. I'm still confused. You want to pay ERWA staffs or staffers or what you may call, but you are also forgetting about government hospitals, government facilities where people are protesting back to back because of salary, because of better system and so forth. You don't care about that. You only care about, I don't even know. I'm still trying to really wrap my head around most of the things that
you will never
that.
understand it. Don't bother. You will never understand it.
But Maybon, you're asking the question about ERWA. You don't know the significant ERWA hospital to Joseph Boakai? Joseph Boakai, that was the hospital he constantly visited. So he prioritized that as compared to Phoebe Hospital. I mean, Phoebe is a private entity.
They make money per day. Yeah. They make thousands of dollars per day. So if you want to, no, sometimes even before you even want to even be, maybe you want to, maybe quote unquote, someone can say, okay, maybe the government want to give subsidy or so forth, right? Before you can even get subsidy, for example, True Friend, ask for True Friend payroll, ask for True Friend maybe expenditure or so forth, and know exactly how much they can earn per day, how much their expenditure and so forth. And say, okay, now I think we can be a help to get True Friend, because let me be frank. We can name a lot of clinics or maybe have facilities here that burn per day, just from electricity per day. You're not able to help them. Private institutions that are struggling from various communities, you want to go and help ERWA that are already up to tax, that are making thousands of dollars per day or per week or per month. Look, we ain't here, man. Let me be frank. I don't care how ERWA people want to tell me, but for me, I have no personal issue with anybody from ERWA hospital. But for the government to say that if they want to be a help to ERWA hospital, that's not bad. But how are you going to be a help?
That's a very good question. How is the budget built? You know, what kind of information do they get before putting up a budget? Maybe you can help me, because if you're making a budget, like the city house set up the budget for the Liberian people, do they have people that will go into the different areas and see the problems there and make a budget that will satisfy that particular problem through that particular government agency or whatever that's supposed to take care? How are these people making the budget?
Let me see if
that the whole idea about waiting to the 11th hour before coming out with the budget, so that you don't understand what they are doing. Then that way they got leverage. That's why they pass it at the 11th hour. Because if you take the entire 10 days for the reason, then you will get to know the allocation, you will debate it, the media will have access, the people will have access. But they did it by design. That's why Yeke Koliba took 9 out of 10 days, and at the 11th hour, they passed the budget. So a guy like you can never understand, you will never figure it out. The only thing you know, more than 56 or 57 million was allocated as supplemental budget. That's the whole idea.
And then, yeah, Steve, come in. Anyway.
No, go ahead, AB. When you finish now, I'll make my contribution. Go ahead, please.
My dear brother, you know, in fact, the $8 million they talk about World Bank money. Literally, it's not something that you're generating in your revenue over there. I mean, in the local revenue envelope. It's something that people they get money over there, and because you got it, so you're urgent to just disperse it out there. What happened with the priorities of those issues? The revenue base is what your allocation should really be on, and you set your priorities straight. But if we're going to be in the cycle like the every time, and you know, like you operate on emergency basis and so on and so forth, it's like you're going to be dragging out the economy every time like this. And when you come, just for those 10 days, next week or so, these guys will be in session officially or whatever it is. Okay? But then you pay them 10 days, almost in the 2 out, from my understanding, it's almost unconfirmed that almost $6 million allocations were made for these people to come back for 10 days, both the lower and the upper house. I mean, what is the rationale? What is the rationale? Because even this money you're disbursing it today, I don't know whether the disbursement is going to take effect as of today, because even the finance minister is not in the country or whatever it is. And you know, but then you go on the World Bank, they allocated money for priority issues, and then you divert it into something different. And, you know, so I mean, guys, I don't know, man.
Well, thank you. First of all, let's be clear about some things here based on the budget allocation or whatever it is. First thing first, I've not seen any change in the budget items or lines that is significantly different from, let's just say, from George Weah time to today. The only thing, they either increasing money in one place and reducing the other place at all. But the lines and the items stay the same. Go look at the budget.
The same template, Steve.
The lines and the items stay the same. There is nothing that changed to say, oh, we'll change this entire 1 year and say, you know what? We can't keep doing this budget and they copy and paste. We'll change the entire thing. But what they do is they change figures. So that means this is why we still have the same problem for JFK under President George Weah to JFK under Joseph Boakai. Because the line items are the same. And they are not giving the people the money. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. So guess what happens? Everything stand out of momentum, stand still, or static. Nothing moves to go anywhere. This is the first problem. Here's the second problem with the budgeting thing that we're talking about. Here's the second problem with the budgeting that we're talking about. Maybe Liberia is the only country on earth currently. Maybe, I stand to be corrected. Maybe Liberia is the only country currently that the lawmakers must take pay before they even funding the hospitals. The government, the lawmaker, they must take pay. Their car money must before they think about sending any money to JFK for Justo. Even to send the money to JFK for Justo, the people then there, the administrator, they got to run behind it. They got to come back there. If they're not careful too, from some of the reports, all confirmed reports we are getting, they got to come there and make deal with them that they will get a cut again.
But still, every line ministry agency got to bargain with the people. They got to stress some kind of deal to get a budget through.
Here's another problem we have. We make all the big ones that we are a sovereign nation, we got our sovereignty and all of that. But the truth about it, we're still waiting for people to add money to our budget before our budget makes sense.
Budgetary support. Yep.
You got to get budgetary support. But you're the same people that can come in public. We are beggars. We are serious people. Our foreigners leave the begging mentality. They are able to collect revenues. This is important. This part is important because You know, these are some of the fundamental, the basic things that are happening behind closed doors that what woman understand. So everything you hear the past budget, you hear the BB money, but nothing change. The suffering either get worse or it remains the same. The thing about it is this: if you get a government that cannot collect revenue, let me not use the BB words. Let me put it in a simple thing. If your pa working for $50 or your man working for $50, and every morning you see your man going to work, every morning you see your man going to work, every morning you see your man going to work. When the morning and no food in the house, what the need for your man to go to work? Either your man to pay and you say, to pay and you say something different than you, or your man not taking pay. They just going to work for name's sake. What am I saying?
Or the paper left in the ribbon.
Yeah, if the paper left in the ribbon, I want to have a different conversation, right? That's social issue. Yeah, that's the secret part there. But I know about part. So, to be honest, folks, we need to come to the point where Liberian people been in our heart, they know how to get certified. Liberian people know how to get certified. If you do the bare minimum for them, look, if you get somebody who will put our country on the right trajectory, you will not hear most Liberians even thinking or talking about politics. No, they will not care. They will not care about it. What are you in a play there bouncing around, you're giving each other hard time? But the people are attracted to politics because this is the thing that they're relying on, the people that they're relying on. So this is a problem in itself. So I don't understand. We definitely need a change. We definitely need a change.
And that's the problem.
Chairman, quickly, I don't know whether you heard talking about the ELW, some of the, in fact, the latest and the supplementary budget. I was asking before we went off. I was asking whether it was recast, because if the president sent 45 million and the lawmaker said no, we've got to make it 53 million, then that means, for me, there's a clear contradiction. Then we want to know as to whether it's supplementary budget or it's recast, because this thing we got to make, look, Steve, like you just said, my brother, we got to break this thing down to our people, even to our people who are even educated, who claim to have PhD, sometimes they don't understand these things. Whether it's recast or it's supplementary, because what the difference between supplementary and recast? I think they are a little different. And our people want to know, because I'm confused. For me, I'm very confused that the president, because I understand in fact supplementary to be like, for me now, I and my wife in our home, maybe we'll have something like $100, $200 that will not, that over our money. Then we think that, okay, now what we can do with the money, saying all of our money, everything we've been putting together, we'll get everything set and everything, close. Now we have the money surplus in a simple form. And those of you who are listening, now myself will be able to think where we'll put the money. So we get $200, where we'll put the money. Then we'll think, okay, let's get $50 on the other side, let's get $20 on the other side, let's get $30 on the other side. For me, that's my own understanding. I don't know about you people. But
no, you're getting it wrong. The difference is when you talk about recast, it means you came up with an original budget. But then when you review the budget, you want to make certain adjustment. That's what you call a recast.
No, they have an example.
Supplementary budget. Let me finish. The supplementary budget is like for unforeseen circumstances.
Yes.
Yeah, you already got a budget. The budget performance, you're monitoring it. Like the situation. That's why I keep asking. The situation in Guinea was unforeseen. We never saw it coming, but we are faced with that situation. And you would think that national security or the military should be getting a lion's share of this budget, because you cannot come up with a record budget of $1.2 billion with additional $200 million envelope from sign-up bonuses, and then you keep talking about taking money from the World Bank. That's a lie. That's a contradiction. That's why I keep saying our budget can never make sense. But we are experiencing a national security crisis wherein we have a border incursion from our neighbor. Do you know how much they put toward national defense? $1.1 million. Do you know how much they put for the redeployment of yellow machine? We're talking about yellow machine to deploy And, you know, like you import the machine, they got to carry to the
4 million.
5.9 million. The one yellow machine got more priority in the supplemental budget than even the national security. So
The national security concern. Yeah.
No priority. No priority.
Monk, before we go to the line, how the yellow machine would not have more priority than a human being when Joseph Parker appoints the former defense minister in Bernie Sanders, who is a pardoned criminal. Yes, Bernie Sanders is a pardoned criminal. He was convicted.
But
hold on, beg you. I don't want to lose my train of thought.
Right.
How do you reconcile yellow machine having that plenty of money, taking Bernie Samoka, who was convicted, who became criminal for stealing money from human being, machine that can talk, machine that can report. You put a man for with that money, and you tell me, say, going somewhere. They'll be there.
Listen, man, Steve, you're talking about $4 million. You know, Brownie Samoka, for the year, for 12 months to operate station, he said to deploy the yellow machine and everything. The man presented $51 million budget for the year. So which one
to call deploy yellow machine? Which one to call that?
What you said? They said
when you order the machine, just to carry to their respective
countries. You gotta use a military term. It's not to confuse us. Deploy.
Guess what's interesting? We've been tracking the yellow machine. Bernie Samoka say, y'all listen to Bernie Samoka say, y'all listen to them because they want to tell you, say, the people on your head tell you, say, really not.
They really.
Bernie Samoka say, the yellow machine is in Aricos. The rest of listen to. But when we went to do the research, the port in Aricos is smaller than the port in Labrador. Labrador got all the big ports around there.
Then they said they got dredging issues.
Now that's true, because nobody from the port in Labrador reported that we got dredging issues. So now let's see that they were a few days. Passing around, going from ministry to ministry, mostly in consulting. How you move forward?
Arizona brother there.
So don't be that loser, man. So the mayor is reporting because he working with the government and saying they can say in Egypt to go look at the small children they talk. You know
they want to do Lego like pre-programming.
We suffer. Look. Reporting according to the government now, they are listening to the machine that's all to move from right Abidjan there to come to Labrador. They take the care of Mr. New. So I want to eat Sierra Leone.
Well, people have a system, and they follow that trend. The people know what they're doing, Steve. The people have a system of how to steal from us and keep our mouth closed. We who know better, we're very few. The majority are the suffering masses that are there and they don't know better. You know, it's a very serious thing. Very, very serious. 51 million.
Yellow machine are all having more budget than even the
51 million. That was budgeted.
Security. Wow.
In the midst of a national crisis, the yellow machine still take precedent over the military.
Yep, they take precedent. Yep.
Yellow machine to do what?
What you mean by that word president?
The yellow machine more important than the war in Guinea.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we know both like that.
But you know one thing that will happen after they have done all the evil, God will pay them. God will pay them for the good that they continue to do to the city of the country. God will pay them.
All right. Thank you so much to this caller. Good evening.
Thank you, Mayor. let me say we're hearing to our panelists in the US. This is Edmund Carr, concerned Liberian for the justice. You know, the whole thing about the supplementary budget now is confusing because the people may have to understand that the 40 million came from the previous 2025 budget support that was to come from World Bank, but it came late.
Thank you. Supplementary, right?
Yeah. They say it came late. So say it came late, they needed to send it to the supplementary, and then you got extra $5 million beside the projected budget for 2025.
Yes.
So they send that now to use it on a supplementary. So the question we ask is how can they increase it to 53?
That's the question myself, because I'm very confused, because I think that would be recast instead of supplementary. But go ahead.
Okay, no, when you see the guy have practice, the guy have EU, the things that they can play on the Liberian people. Then $1.2 billion is choking them now. But if they come up with earlier recast, then they will validate our argument that $1.2 billion was an empty paper. So the way to do it now is to come and tell some of the unity party who don't understand that, hey, this is a supplementary budget. But then another thing that in that budget is that the last time the $1.2 billion, NSA got only $2 million plus. The supplementary budget, you take another $2.5 million, you give it to NSA, you get $600,000 to AML. You take $500, you give it to the police. You take $1.5 million, you give it to Border Patrol. Why are you doing to our army? Then when you talk about it, they say, oh, don't talk. If you talk, they will call you for caution. It's so hard on a right to raise these concerns.
All right. Thank you so much. Today's caller, good evening.
No, but after that call, I got an announcement.
Good evening to your fellow panelists.
Yeah, go ahead, my sister.
Therefore, I want to understand something. The whole addition district, I thought it's supposed to come to we the voters to discuss with us the decision we wanted when you put here. I thought it's supposed to come to us who can sit down with all the thing. But the church, everything that one, if they say they went over there, but I said, so when they put we the just feel that when they feel get people when they just feel that they went over there, but I said they no longer come back to consult that people. Then when it come to the whole
supplementary budget.
Anything. When the budget selling, in case of something that they put play to do battle, so they say now, put on just for big. They're not telling all anything. Everybody just selling and that. Well, I just see that for here, so you know the people blessed. We're not looking at other countries that get high attention, and every time we protest and our protest can lead to something. People are we the Liberian, we are so that kind of soft money. We say that we can't leave it. That can we remove them, and also that they reach it. Some of them will say the whole chat, they show that oh, and all that will chat, however, we'll not get tired. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, my dear sister. Today's caller, good evening. Oh, yes, Steve. Sorry, Steve. Yeah, Steve, go ahead. You said you wanted to make an announcement.
Folks, I got it okay to talk about it. So I spoke with Honorable Yeke Koluba, which I believe is still the representative for District number 10. Everybody got their own view because Honor Joseph Boaka laboriously more confused and complex than anything. Honorable Yeke Koluba confirms that whether the court rules in his favor or not, on Thursday, he will be starting his county tour. He wanted me to make sure that we announce that. So we're watching for that. And he said to the Bob, hold on one second, Bob.
Yes, go ahead. We think getting you, Steve, already.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead quickly.
No more.
You see, a good leader will tend to have a good followership. But our leaders in Liberia have kept on their followers in left ignorance. So that when they come up with some of these shenanigans, we
common people, Chairman, you people are not telling us as to whether this budget is a recast or supplementary, because we are confused, and I guess your people will be asking you as to whichever budget have been passed. All right, thank you so much to this caller. Good evening. Yeah, my brother, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
There's a name that just cost of running this system 1 million. This criminal that could just PhD in criminality act. Brian Samuka, I don't know why. Brian Samuka said all the time he sat down and would deny him because of that criminal act that was criminal in government with 51 million. You can just find all kind of means to just enter a woman because
the yellow machine is more important than our security, I think, for the budget, though. Hello?
Why him?
Mm-hmm.
Look, this kind of people not to be so running the kind of thing because Brian Samuka, you go all bring it down. You will not get none of Brian Samuka. You only came with the mind on board to steal. That's what Brian came for. Not the Brian there for. But I don't believe them. As my sister just said, one of the sisters I made it, she just left the lab because our leaders said that what the people right now. We two leaders were our people that really want to get pay our money. Look, what happened to the guys who can't accept it? You just see here, many people took 200,000 go to Bolo to go play for. You just pay our money what? When the country is trying people suffering. Then you just get million needs.
All right, thank you. 0770-203-125. That's the number to call quickly. Those of you will take a few more calls and cross over to our team of panelists. Hello to this caller. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, neighbor. I'm joining for this show, the Rafi Highway out to community.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, last night, or listening on school, sector or interview of broadcasting senator Prince Moy concerning the budget when it passed. He said when Amara Kone went to attend the United Nations, something, and the people committed 8 billion to them. So that the 8 million they added on the 45 million running to 53 million. According to Prince Moy last night, that's why he said when Amara Kone went to
It was Gafuan.
Or Amakone, which one? Because
I'm sorry, Gafuan.
Okay, all right, Gafuan. Thank you. Yeah.
So he said they committed 8 million
Okay.
to him because of the budget performance.
Okay.
Now they carry on, so they gave them 8 million. They commit because they want to use it. They committed 8 million to Liberian government. So that 8 million now, that it is used. They added on the 45 million. It went up to 53 million.
Then what the government of now what? How can they going to as they didn't add one there and they send only 45 million? How come?
That was the question because you were in freelance because according to what happened, system was asking why they don't walk away for the
from the budget hearing or from the passage of the entire
How can the president get 45 and you could have carried to 53? So he was breaking it down to make us understand that and something can go when
somewhere
and then they committed 8 million to them, and that 8 million was added on the 45 million, it ran out to 53 million.
Okay, go ahead now. Another thing quickly. All right, thank you. I think that's what you want to talk about. But I want you Samuel. Go ahead, my brother.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead quickly. Hello, getting you. I want you Samuel. All right, I think that from your end quickly we'll take a few more calls and cross over to our team of panelists. Is done. He said the $45 million claim up to $53 million the supplementary budget. To this caller quickly, good evening. This Samuel, good evening.
Yeah, thank you very much for the commission. Once again, this is our debut family. money. Then later on, they will always come up and start regretting. They confess to the Nigerian people. So I'm not unfair. Are you getting me, neighbor?
Yes, we're listening to you though.
Okay. So there, therefore, I was going to listen to one senator of West here. He was complaining because he was trying to record it on one of the central stations. Complaining that they spare of $5 million to the Minister of Presidential Affairs for special presidential project. What kind of project? He was pretending to the Liberian as though he'd be ready to. He said, no, you already have put the money was on there. Then he said the money was going to be sent to former one minister. Why you never agree for the money to be sent to former one minister, but you sat there and agree the money to be sent to the Minister of Presidential Affairs? And you know that former one minister is the West, is the Minister for Foreign Affairs in the country.
All right.
Sat there and agree to send to the example that you regret. They are the problem for us now.
All right. Thank you so much, my dear brother. Quickly to this caller. Good evening. Hello? Hello? Hello, quickly go ahead.
Yeah, my brother, I want you to listen to me today. Not because the call show them be saying to me, I want to do the work. Yeah, you're telling me, I'm listening for now. I want to explain a story to you. You should answer. My name is Josiah Bemi. I want to know you answer the city government home. This is Wahasha. For you know, for my expression, they should make sure that what happening today, they should think about I want them. If I know my what happening. You know, for my take care for my in a happy to see that happening or she is not for that. I want to.
All right. Thank you so much. We gotta go, Steve. I think we have 12 more minutes we can use because we want to hear from all of you out there. But we just listen to our people. They have their views. That's the best. But for me, I'm mostly concerned about the yellow machines receiving more money than our security. I don't know if they're not security. How would the yellow machines be well taken care of? I'm very concerned. But anyway, back to you people.
Yeah, let's give it to the guys so that they can wrap it up and give their parting comments. Let's start with Mr. Deshil. You want to go first? Mr. Deshil, are you there? Okay.
Well, let me just say this. You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Let me just say this. You hear me? Yeah, we can hear you now. Okay. I believe the problem have been solved by the Liberian people. Are you having feedback? I believe the problem.
Yeah, it's from you. It's from the end.
Okay, I will talk later. We got getting feedback.
Yeah, I think I'm getting a feedback from Mr. Deshil as well. Something not right. I think
he has a gadget on. Mr.
Okay.
Deshil has another gadget. Yeah, go ahead, Abraham, please.
Okay, let me say thanks to the cause, man. Fascinating topic. We got to keep doing this every time to highlight those things. And what is concerning the budget is one part, but Liberia's priority is being misplaced by this government continuously, and people, I don't know whether they are doing it subconsciously or some kind of deliberate act in the faces of the Liberian people. I just don't understand it. But again, what is really troubling, this trend of evil in Liberia, like Joseph Boga stated, he said a lot of strange things will happen. For you to have certain lawmakers continually threatening their colleagues about investigation, demand that they should be investigated, when in fact you and this person you guys are equal. But for you to insist, oh, the man said this thing, you're investigating. Oh, this man said this thing, he's got to be investigated. I think it should be the responsibility of the security apparatus, the joint security of the country. If they feel that there's anything threatening for an individual or a certain lawmaker, then they should register this. But not for just a random lawmaker just demanding off the floor. Oh, the man revealed so and so. He must be investigated. And the act upon this thing is troubling. This is a disrespect to even those that are electing these lawmakers, because you're not even respecting their decisions. But I would demand it and they will get it out of them is a bad thing, and it need to be discouraged. And I really, really hope the Supreme Court will be the final decision maker in such a to discourage this kind of behavior, and then by rendering their decision against Honorable Yeke Kolba as completely wrong and illegitimate, and for the hymns to be reinstated. I think that would be the prudent thing to discourage this kind of behavior, Steve. But
Thank
again,
you.
it's a great show, and thanks for the time, and Mabel and everybody else.
Thank you. Mr. Dishi, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. You can hear me clear now? Any interception?
No, no feedback.
Okay then. Yeah. I want to leave with the words, with the partner words that to the common people, I want them to understand that all of these things that are going on now, and it will be hard to reverse it in the future. That means to say, they clamp down on the freedom of speech that we have fought for many years, have been chased, and they're making the people to understand that whatever the people are doing, they are wrong. And they're coming in with what they believe is right, subjecting the people to courts, subjecting them to laws that don't fit the Constitution and all of that. And this is embarrassing. But what's going to happen is that this is going to cause friction. It's going to cause friction because this elected justice it just ensure that the law is only for certain people, and the mechanism of it is that it is only set up to take care of those who have connections, those who are elites, and those who are powerful government officials. And these precedents that have been set now on the poor man and justifying it, putting them into prison and taking the human rights from them is troubling. And I believe that is turning towards our jurisprudence problem that we're going to have in the future. That's what I want to close with. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tishu. Monk, how do you react?
Well, listen to the callers. The only thing I got to say, Unity Party folks, they are laying your marker and they are targeting something bigger than what people see. And we're seeing the trend. It's for the next election cycle. Unity Party want to make sure that they silence dissenting opinion and opposition groups so that they can maintain power. So they keep testing the water. But I know at a certain point in time, like I talk about the rubber band theory here, the rubber band theory is stay in motion because, you know, they think that the voters don't pay attention to these things. We are already fragmented politically, so no matter what happens in the country, maybe 40 to 45% of the country will automatically back Unity Party, irrespective of what they are doing to the country. So they can go after the Prophet Key, they can go after the Yeka. But as far as I'm concerned, Yeka remains a lawmaker. I'm not saying there to say that I'm 100% counting on the result of the Supreme Court, but at least that will be the due process by the Constitution. And until then, he's still a lawmaker. I will consider him a lawmaker still. And like I said, it's all about the next election. It's all about consolidating power. And they will keep pushing the envelope to no end until the Labrimpo can say enough is enough. And until they can feel that. Because take, for example, like one of the callers call, right? We just said on the show that you got a supplemental budget that's supposed to concur from the Senate. The pro tem, who happens to be the head of the Senate after the vice president, technically, that runs the day-to-day activity of the Senate, she never saw the breakdown of the budget, but she signed or transmitted a letter. How can Prince Mwe know how somebody got $8 million from the United Nations or World Bank to add it to the budget when the pro tempore is not even informed of the breakdown of the budget? You see some of the game we keep talking about here? The woman who head the Senate, she signed a letter without saying the breakdown of the budget, but somehow, by some magical means, Prince Mwe can tell you where another $8 million came from. How is that even possible? And he's in the Senate, not even in the House. But that the country, like I said, we don't have a country. We are a failed state. The people in the country, they're not serious about the forward movement of the country. And the people who know exactly what's happening in the country, we are fragmented by politics. We cannot put forces together to go against the ruling party. And that's where the problem is, even up to those in the diaspora. You know, if you look at the diaspora trend, I was just telling, I don't know who I called earlier today. I think it was Octavia that called me. I said, Octavia, do you know the Kenya have gone as far as diaspora participating in their parliamentary election for lawmakers, not even the presidential election? They believe that when you're from certain part of the country, when they are voting there for lawmakers and say president, they can participate in the diaspora. But even us in the diaspora, we cannot even unite against any common cause. We cannot put collective force together to say, let's set on that some of the people back will know that we mean business for that country. No. Everybody will try to honor man. They will put their politics before the country. And at the end of the day, when you are fragmented, you cannot go against a ruling opposition, or ruling power. That's just why it is. And unity parties understand that. We will talk here at a certain point in time, the talking will become redundant. It will carry no weight. It will carry no magnitude. Our burger or dogs. We are the only people that can back, but we cannot bite. And they knows that. That's why he used that analogy by calling people in the diaspora dogs. We will keep talking all day, and talking is not going to move the needle 1 inch on the ground. But I'll stop there for the day, my brother. Take care.
Thank you. Well, let me, I wrote a post this morning, and I said Liberian people must stand up to Unity Party and Joseph Boakai. There's a video on Facebook about South Africans who are beating on Ghanaians and other people due to xenophobia. They're all Africans, but they're beating on other Africans in the country and telling them to go back to the country. A serious-minded government in the Ghana government, the leadership, they sum the Guinean, the South African ambassador. This is what you do. Since the thing started with Guinea coming to our place, you ever heard Joseph Boakai spoke to the Guinea ambassador in Liberia? Or anybody calling to asking questions? And Sarah Beslow, then all of them went to Guinea. You asked Sarah Beslow, then what they told them? Nyan Twain wrote something. Nyan Twain, he wrote something 17 hours ago. Let me read it to you. I told Milborn something last night on the phone. Something that Yeke has said more than once. I confirm it to Milborn. I don't even know it means Nyan Twain. Okay, very good. I found him here. Let me read what he wrote. Nyan Twain, this is what Nyan Twain wrote. Quote, Senator Cannon publicly praised the Guinean army while belittling ours, as if we all, you're listening to that, as if we all didn't agree to act and keep it confidential.
Oh, yep. So they knew.
Hypocrisy. When Joseph Boakai went to the senators, you remember Joseph Boakai went to the senators soon after in Guinea started? Joseph Boakai went to the Senate. You remember that? Joseph Boakai told the senators, this is the problem I got with some of them. You won't be mayor, be mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be bouncing around the place. Joseph Boakai told them that the land is for Guinea. They might just keep it quiet and keep it cool. Liberian people quit to forget, and they will forget about it. So what Nyan Twain is saying, Nyan Twain is confirming it. Listen to it again. Nyan Twain is saying this. He wrote this 18 hours ago. Senator Cannon publicly praised the Guinean army while belittling ours, as if we all didn't agree to act and keep it confidential. What thing confidential about the people taking our land? And we don't have an equipped army. What thing confidential about that? What thing confidential about that? That's the thing Yeke Kolba said. That's the thing Yeke Kolba talk about. So that being said, folks, thank you. We're calling the Supreme Court to reinstate Yeke Kolba. Honorable Yeke Kolba did nothing wrong. There is no such thing as treason. He didn't do anything that amounts to treason. You're going to define that word. You can just use word. You don't know the definition or whatever it is. Let's stop this running around behind each other like Doden did. Doden were running after they removed trouble. Then they start running behind each other. They start running behind each other. That brought the North in the country. So let's stop this and let's get serious. Thank you so much.
Let me just say that the Supreme Court will not be the one to reinstate Yeke. They will just give a ruling and interpret that treasonous crime and the due process, and that will be it for them. Once they come up with that ruling and they can interpret that version of the Constitution, then it will still be up to our lawmakers to do the right thing. So people shouldn't think that the Supreme Court you can pick up, you can say, oh, carry you back to work because I don't know how people how they can interpret it. They will only interpret
you're right. You're right about that.
So they didn't get
they were only tell them that the legality of issues needs to be addressed properly. That's all.
Yeah, that's what they do.
To operate within the confines of the law. So the Constitution will supersede that rule. That's the only decision I anticipate.
Exactly. So that means, but automatically, what it means is what they did was wrong.
Yep.
They need to change it. Simple. Yeah, but folks, let's have a good night. Thank you so much. Good night, good afternoon, good evening.
All right, guys. Take care, Steve. Take care, bro. Take care, bro.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and part of the globe. Monitor people who waiting to sell. Blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The project is giving us the premise of them. Welcome and life.